Let's talk about long-term gratification and a little bit of money. I'm referring to good tattoo artists, very good tattoo artists, an amazing tattoo artist, let alone the superstar amazing artist. We're talking about that. Forget about all the shit and average, not so good, really bad, and people that shouldn't even touch the tattoo machine. Let's forget about them. We talk about a nice piece of art. So maybe you're thinking about getting a full sleeve, a back piece, or whatever, and you're thinking, I can't afford it, it's too much, or whatever, I will get it in time, I will start with a little one, then no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Plan your tattoo and then take your time to get it completed. Because if you do, I don't know, a skull on your forearm and then you think, okay, I can go on later. Yeah, but you have to work accordingly with what you already have. And if you want to, I don't know, just to post something over that skull, you cannot do it because you already have that skull. So you end up having badges on your arm and they are not flowing with your body, they are not cool, and the same, I don't know, with the back piece. Oh, come on, you're coming to me with a back piece. It's like going to a painter with a canvas and say, well, just paint a little bit here in the left corner or in the right corner. Oh, come on, let me do an amazing piece, let me do an amazing piece of art. Because at the end of the day, probably you will end up having your full back or your full sleeve. So what's the point? And about the money, if you think about, oh yeah, but it's too expensive, oh really? Usually tattoo artists are working with an hour rate. If you compare the hour rate, let alone the people that are asking absurd amount of money for an hour, but usually tattoo artists are working by hour. And if you think about the little pieces, usually they cost more than 1 hour. So at the end of the day, probably if you get your full sleeve full of little badges and so on, probably all those little badges, if you do the math, probably you will spend a lot more than getting a full sleeve, a great full sleeve. So think about that. And anyway, you can plan your tattoo, I don't know, you can go to your tattoo artist every 6 months, every 7 months, who cares? Of course, you don't want to lose the momentum, but anyway, you can take your time and having something amazing on your body. Because a tattoo is a long-term gratification. It's not something that is done today and, well, tomorrow I forget about it. Of course not. It will stay with you forever. So it's a long-term gratification. So think long-term.